Hey everyone, it's AmandaandMonicarloomy, and we are here today with our newest bracelet. We are calling it Synergy. Here's one version of it, and here's the other version. We're going to be doing this version today. This was my first version that I did with the coral or tropical reef bands, the tricolor ones, orange and navy blue bands, and I thought that would make a really pretty bracelet, which it still is gorgeous, but I don't know, I was hoping for something a little different, so I went to the bands that I just got in from Rainbow Loom and that I just ordered, and I got the 600 purple Persian, the 600 count navy Persian, and the 600 count black Persian, and I just adore this one. It's just, I love how the colors just pop with that gold. It's just so pretty. Synergy, the name comes from, if y'all don't know, I am a huge child of the 80s fan. I was born in the 80s. I am not telling what year. But in the 80s there was a TV show called Jem and the Holograms. Well, I'm a huge fan of Jem and the Holograms. I have all the dolls. I'm a huge collector. And there is a computer on the cartoon for Jem and the Holograms called Synergy. Well, in the cartoon, it always talks about Synergy having the power to transform Jem, and she transformed Jem into from Jericho to Jem, and she's always got the power. There's even a song called She's Got the Power. So I was thinking, this bracelet is like super strong. So this bracelet has really great power. So I was like, this bracelet has really good power. Synergy has really good power. Why not call it Synergy? So I decided that the name Synergy would be very appropriate. And it's a little nod back to my childhood days, and I will always think of Jem and the Holograms when I see this bracelet. I'm so excited to introduce it to you all. So for this bracelet, you will either need 5 bar pins, depending on if you want to make an extension with this, or you will need 10 bar pins to make it an average length. A regular average length would do 10 bar pins, and you will need it in the W configuration. I will let you all get this set up, and I will be right back. Okay, so for this bracelet, I'm going to stick with the Persians, and in the middle where you can't really tell, I used the opaque black color where you can't really tell in the middle. So I used opaque black in the middle, and then purple Persian in the 600 count bag, black Persian, and navy Persian, all in the 600 count bag. These are not the 300 count bags that were 100% silicone. These are a little different. They come in 600 count bags, and they're not 100% silicone. But I love these bands. They're gorgeous all the same. So we are going to get started. With the opaque blacks, you are going to need to use 1 band on each one. So we're going to get started placing our bands. I always start from on the left side because I'm a left-handed person. You can start on the right, but whichever side you start with, you need to keep it consistently on that side that you start with. So I put 1 band from the second row to the third, and then 1 band from the third to the fourth. These are all the opaque blacks. 1 band from the first to the second, and 1 band from the fourth to the fifth. So you essentially have a really wide W right now. Then I'm going to put 1 band going up on the first row, 1 band going up on the third row, and 1 band going up on the fifth row. This is where you're going to choose which color you start with. It doesn't matter which color you start with. I'm just going to start with the Persian black, and each one of the Persians, when we put them down, you're going to use 2. So I have 2 Persian blacks, and I'm going to go from the second row, first pin, to the second pin. So I did first pin to the second pin on the second row, and then I'm going to do the same thing over here on the 4th bar. First pin to second pin. Then I'm going to, you're going to make an arrow with your Persian bands. Now remember, whichever side you start with, you need to keep consistently on that side starting with, because it will look kind of funny going back and forth. So I just did 1 band from the first bar to the second bar, second pin. 1 from the second pin of the second bar to the 3rd bar, first pin. Then from that same bar, the 3rd one, first pin, to the 4th bar, second pin. And then 4th bar, second pin, to the 5th bar, first pin. Now I'm going to go up 1. Oops. I'm going to go up 1, and I'm going to choose to do the navy blue. I'm going up 1 from the middle 2nd and 4th row, and you're making that arrow pattern again. Each one of these Persians have 2 bands on each one. First to the 2nd row, 2nd to the 3rd, 3rd to the 4th, and then 4th to the 5th. Now you're going to take your single band of opaque black and put one on the middle, the 3rd row, 1st, 3rd, and 5th row. Doesn't matter which order you put these in, but you need one on the 1st, 3rd, and 5th row. Now I'm going to go with the purple Persians, going up 1. You always want to start with the middle portion first of the arrow, and then you can do the 2 sideways ones. You're making a really wide M at this point. Now you're going to take your 3 single bands of opaque black on the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th. You're going to go back. We've done black, blue, purple. Now you can do these a rainbow of different colors. I'm just using these 3 colors. So I'm going to go back to the black Persians, and I'm going to go up for my vertical on the 2nd and the 4th, and then I'm going to make my wide M basically. These new 600 count bags of Persians are really stretchy, and I love them. I love the 100% silicone ones, but these are really a lot more stretchy, and I love them. We only use Rainbow Loom products, so we know that they are quality products. Now we're going back to the navy Persian, doing our vertical. Remember, we have 2 Persian bands on each one. Now we're doing our really wide M, or your 2 arrowheads. Now we're going to go and do our 3 single band opaque black on our 1st, 3rd, and 5th. And we're going to go and do the purple. I'm going to do a few more rounds of this, and then I'm going to let you all do it on your own. Do our verticals. And do your wide M or your arrowhead, whatever you want to call it. Just make sure to keep everything in the same way you're putting them on. Don't move from left to right and then right to left. You always want to stay in one motion. Going back to the black opaque single bands on the 1st, 3rd, and the 5th. And this is the last one I'm going to do with you all, and you all can do the rest on your own until the very end. And I will come back and I will finish up the end with you all. So I'm finishing up my wide M or my arrowheads. And if you're making an adult bracelet, an average size, if you want an adult bracelet, this fits an average adult, then you're going to need to make it a full 2 looms long. I would say if you're making it for a child, I would stop about 4 pins down for a child. So, because this takes up, it shrinks down a lot. Because there's a lot of, it's really strong, so it's going to shrink down a lot, but that means it's going to stay together a lot longer. So, I'm going to finish up all the way to the end. I'm going to be making an adult one. So, I'm going to pause the video here. I'm going to continue until I get all the way up here, and we will finish out the bracelet together. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have gone this far on the loom, and your loom should look like this so far. Now, I left it right at here so that I could show you how to finish it off. Now, my last bands placed were these 3 single band opaque black. Now I'm placing double bands of the purple Persians, the vertical bands, and then the wide M or the arrowhead, go up and you do black, black opaque, black opaque, and now we're not going to do another one of these arrows, so we are going to do a double purple Persian, because all we're going to do is pull 2 purple Persian verticals. This is a little different to end the bracelet. And then we're going to grab the opaque blacks again. And you're going to go from the outside in on both sides. Okay, so this is how your completed loom should look. It was, you didn't put them all on at once. It's one where you gradually added them on. Here at the end, we're going to have 2 cap bands that we're going to add right now, and I'm going to use 2 of the opaque blacks, and I'm going to triple band it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to turn the loom around, and I will be right back. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to do is we are going to loop out the 2 top bands on each one of the cat bands, which is going to be the single opaque black bands. So I'm going to go inside of the cat band, and it should be on this left side, which is now, it was the right side. So this now is the left side when I turned it around. So everything you done on the right side last is now going to be first on this left side. So that's the good thing about keeping everything in one direction. Lemon out on that side. So I might go inside this band. You're just getting those black bands first. Then I'm going to go inside those two bands that we just made teardrops with. And I'm going to go on the side on the first one, on the first row, then on the third row, and on the fifth row. Now I'm going to go inside the cat band and get those two purple Persians that I put to make sure that my bracelet would not fall apart, and to end the bracelet on both sides. Next, I'm going, for each one of these, I'm going to be sort of tilting my hook to the side some. You'll see here in a second. It's so much easier when you tilt it to the side and kind of pull the band away. I'm going to grab whatever band is on top. If you did it the way I looped or put the bands on the loom, it should be this one right over here, this left one. And take it back so you have a teardrop. You're going to take the right one, both of those bands, make sure you get both of them. Make it to where it's a teardrop. And then get the one that you had vertically, make it to it's a teardrop. And what you did to this side, you're now going to do to the opposite side. So I'm kind of tilting my hook to the side. It makes it so much easier both ways. And then getting that one. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go inside of all of those purple ones and grab the single black opaque on the first, the middle one's the hardest, on the third, and on the fifth. A lot of times when I pull the bands back, the bottom band usually pops right forward, and that's the, if you've put them on the loom correctly, then that's what's the easiest part for me to do. Now I'm just looping the way they're on each peg back to where they are to make little teardrops. What I do to one side, I do to the other. So I need teardrop left, teardrop right, and teardrop vertical. Now, before you move on to the next set of Persians, you're going to go pull that band, those navy blue Persians back, and get your opaque black. Pull the middle Persians back, get that third row black, and pull your fifth row back and get that opaque black. Now I'm going to take my hook to the side, get the left black. It should be the bands that are on the top. Get my right blacks. Now these are the Persian blacks, remember. And get my vertical Persian blacks. What I do to one side, I do the other. Left teardrop, right teardrop, vertical teardrop. And then I go and I get the opaque blacks. Make sure you get behind all of those Persians. If you don't, you'll have one loose. That has happened to me. Grab your purple Persians on the left, on the right, vertical. vertical, and then get your opaque black. There's not so much tension on these bands, the Persians, as there is more on the opaque bands. So I would suggest, if you're not going to be using rainbow loom, that you use a sturdy band on the where I have used the opaque bands, because they will take a little bit of stretching, and I don't want you to be in the middle of your project and one of them snap. It's totally fixable, but I don't want you to be in the middle of your project, because they do take a little bit of tension, especially this one on the third row. It takes the most tension. I'm going to do this a few more times, and then I'm going to cut away, and you can do the rest on your own. And I'll come back towards the end so you may see how to end the bracelet. I'm going to go up to this purple one, and I will be cutting away to finish out on my own, and so you all can. If you all do not get the left, right, vertical teardrops, then you can just rewind and review it on the video. Don't forget to get your opaque blacks or whatever color you choose to make the outside. That one band slipped off. I'm just going to put it back. It's not necessary, but I always like to put it back on there. So I'm going to finish out the bracelet up to probably around here, and I will be right back. Alright, so I have gotten all the way to down here on these purple Persians. Those were the last bands that I looped. So now I'm going to go in and get the opaque blacks. I just hooked that one Persian, that was the purple Persian, back over that came undone. And that happens sometimes. You just want to make sure you rehook it so that you don't not loop it, because if you do the looping without that on there, it will make it a little wonky. Okay, all of the little teardrops are finished. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to get the last single opaque from this side and the last single opaque from this side. And then we're going to have to go inside of all of these bands right here. There's a lot, but just pull them back with the back of your hook. And like I said before, do you hear that? Those two little, that lets me know that there are two bands there, and whichever one is on top is the one that you're going to loop first, and it's going to be the one on the, well, it's the left, it was the right earlier. And you're going to loop them back so you have teardrops. And what you could do is, we usually like to use either two bands to close off a bracelet, or we like to double one band. So for this bracelet, we are going to double one band, and we're going to have two C-clip closures. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go in on this one first, and I'm going to make sure that I get through all of those black opaque and black Persians, and I get it on my hook, pull it through, And then I hold my hook like this. Let's see. And then I just put the C-clip on and let it stay there for a while. And then I'm going to do this other side. I'm going to double it. I'm going to go inside. Make sure I'm inside all of the bands. And I'm going to grab that doubled band, put both ends onto my hook, grab another C-clip, hold it, and put it on my bands, except for this one got stuck. Don't you hate when the C-clip gets stuck onto both sides of the one band? That is so aggravating sometimes. You have all the time in the world. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we are going to, let me zoom out some. We are going to take this off of the loom. We are all loomed out. But we need to do this a little carefully, because last time I did this, I had one of the little blue ones fly up and hit me in the face, and it did not feel so good. So I'm just going to take these off one by one. And it also helps so that your bands don't break, and also that your loom doesn't break. Because sometimes when you're pulling things off of your loom, some of your pin bars can get broken, and we don't want that. So I'm going down one side of my doubled loom, and I'm going to go down the other side, just using my hook. Alrighty, now we are going to pull those off of those first two, and you should be good to go to be able to pull it off fairly easily. Say, I said that I jinxed myself, but at least I didn't hit myself in the face this time. Alright, so then just to kind of make sure, let me get all of these loom pieces out of the way. Just to make all of the bands kind of get in order, I just pull and tug, and there we have it. Isn't she gorgeous? She's just like her little sister. Okay, so this is our bracelet Synergy. All our 80s lovers out there, would you hashtag us at hashtag AmandaandMonicarloomy so we can see your gorgeous creations. If you liked this video, would you please give us a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel down below. We love you all. We love to see your creations. If you would tag us on Instagram, we're on Facebook as AmandaandMonica _Arloomy. And we just love to see all of you all, what you make, all of your creations. It's just, the imagination is endless. So I cannot wait to see everyone's renditions of Synergy. Thank you all very much. Have a great day. Bye.